So peptides are everywhere in skincare right now. Peptide serums, peptide creams, multi-peptide complexes, copper peptides, collagen supporting peptides, products containing 5, 10, or even more different peptides. And when you see all of those claims on the front of a package, it is easy to assume that more peptides must mean a more advanced product. But from a skincare manufacturer's perspective, the word peptide by itself tells us very little. Hi, my name is Mo, and I've been manufacturing skincare products for over 20 years. On this channel, I break down what really goes into creating a product, from ingredient and formulation to stability, packaging, and production, so you can better understand the skincare you want to make. And I chose a really hot day to film this for you. So, are peptides actually worth the hype? The honest answer is, some can be, but not simply because the word peptide appears on the bottle. Let's start with what peptides are. Peptides are short chains of amino acids. Amino acids are the building blocks used to create proteins. But different peptide sequences can behave very differently. That means peptides are not one interchangeable family where every ingredient provides the same benefit. These could all be peptides, but they may have different structures, different intended functions, different recommended usage levels, and different formulation requirements. So the first question a manufacturer asks is not, does this formula have peptides? The first question is, which peptide is it? A product that says peptide complex on the front may sound impressive, but the ingredient list is where we begin identifying what is actually being used. And even then, identifying the peptide is only the beginning. Before we go further, tell me in the comments which peptide name you keep seeing in skincare. I'm curious whether most people are seeing copper peptides, palmitoylated peptides, or simply the word peptide complex. The second question is, why is that particular peptide in the formula? A formulator should have a reason for choosing it. Is it being selected to support the appearance of firmness, to improve the look of expression lines, to complement a barrier-focused formula, to support a brightening concept? The answer should be more specific than peptides are popular. A trending ingredient is not automatically the correct ingredient for every formula. We also have to separate a proposed biological mechanism from a proven result in a finished product. Laboratory studies may demonstrate activity in cells or skin models, but that does not automatically tell us how complete retail product will perform on a person's skin. There have also been clinical studies of finished peptide-containing regimens that reported visible improvements. However, those results apply to the particular formula regimen, study design, and participant that were tested. They cannot automatically be transferred to every product using the word peptide. For example, one clinical study involved only 29 women using both a peptide serum and a supporting skincare regimen, which makes it difficult to credit every result to one ingredient alone. This brings us to the third question. Can the peptide reach the area where it is intended to work? Your skin is designed to be a barrier. That is one of its most important functions. Putting an ingredient on the surface does not guarantee that it will reach a particular layer of the skin in a meaningful amount. Researchers have tested specialized carriers, modified peptide structures, and even microneedle assisted delivery to improve the penetration of certain peptides. The fact that these delivery systems are being studied illustrates an important point. Peptide delivery should not be assumed just because a peptide is present in a serum. That does not mean a peptide must travel as deeply as possible to provide any cosmetic benefit. Some ingredients can help improve the surface condition or appearance of the skin. It means the formula must be designed around the intended result. The vehicle matters. The solvent system matters. The peptide structure matters. The condition of the skin matters. And the rest of the formula matters. If this is changing how you think about active ingredients, tap the like button. It tells me that you want more videos explaining what happens between selecting an ingredient and creating the finished product. The fourth question is the peptide stable inside this particular formula? When we manufacture a product, we do not evaluate an ingredient in isolation. We have to consider the formula's pH, processing temperature, mixing procedure, other ingredients, packaging, and expected shelf life. A peptide supplier may recommend a particular processing window or method of incorporation. One peptide may be compatible with a system that is unsuitable for another. This is why adding a longer list of peptides is not always better. Every additional ingredient introduces another variable. We need to confirm that ingredients can coexist, that the product remains physically and chemically stable, and that the formula still feels good enough for someone to use consistently. The fifth question is, how much of the visible result is actually coming from the peptide? Imagine applying a beautifully formulated peptide serum. Your skin immediately looks smoother and more hydrated. That immediate result could be coming largely from humectants, emollients, film-forming materials, or light-reflective ingredients in the base. That is not a criticism. Those ingredients are doing valuable work. But the instant result should not automatically be interpreted as proof that the peptide has rebuilt or transformed something within a few minutes. Many of the potential benefits associated with peptides would be expected to appear gradually, not during the first application. A good peptide product should still be a good moisturizer or serum even before we discuss the peptide story. It should spread properly, it should layer well, it should remain stable, it should be compatible with its packaging, and it should be pleasant enough to use regularly. So what should you look for as a consumer? First, look for the actual peptide name rather than relying only on the front label. Second, look for a product designed around a clear purpose. A formula claiming to address every possible concern usually gives you less useful information than one with a focused objective. Third, pay attention to the entire formula. A peptide surrounded by appropriate moisturizers, antioxidants, or barrier-supporting ingredients may make more sense than a peptide added to the formula simply for marketing. Fourth, look for testing on the finished product whenever that information is available. And fifth, manage your expectations. A peptide product may be a helpful supporting part of a routine. It is not a replacement for sunscreen, consistency, appropriate cleansing, or professional care when you have a medical skin condition. Here is my manufacturer's verdict. Peptides are not automatically overhyped, but the category is often oversimplified. A thoughtfully selected peptide used at an appropriate level, protected in a stable formula, placed in a suitable packaging, and evaluated in the finished product can be worthwhile. What is not worthwhile is paying a premium simply because a package says 10 peptides instead of 1. The number of peptides is not a quality score. The front label is not a formulation report. And the most impressive ingredient name cannot rescue a poorly designed finished product. So the next time you see peptide serum, do not ask only, does it contain peptides? Ask, which peptide? Why was it chosen? Is the formula designed to support it? And is there evidence for the finished product? Comment with the peptide product or peptide ingredient you want us to break down next. Thank you, and see you on the next one.